When working product design, some people talk about focusing on the user experience, while other people talk about obsessing over the user interface. I personally believe there is no one without the other, and we really need to make sure to master both the user interface and also the user experience in order to create enjoyable, intuitive products. In this video, however, we're going specific, and I'm going to bring 3 common UI mistakes that you want to avoid. Trust me, I've made some of these mistakes myself, and learning about them now is going to really save you and your users tons of headaches. Hi, I'm Deborah, and I share my journey in products to help other designers enhance their craft. Without further ado, let's jump right in. User interfaces better than ever. The first mistake you don't want to make is neglecting design consistency. It's easy to start designing, get into the flow, and not take a moment to define the design standards that are supposed to be followed across the interfaces. However, this can lead not only to inconsistency when it comes to the look of a button or the position of a certain element, but this can lead into a confusing user experience. And we don't want that, my friend. So remember that design consistency is a key element as it helps create an intuitive and cohesive user experience. And that also leads to help the user build trust towards your brand and also makes using the product feel easier. A good rule of thumb that you can follow, which is one that I use myself as well, is when you use an element 3 or more times, just do yourself a favor and turn it into a component. Also, let's say if you're working on a web design, you're gonna know that the header, so the navigation bar, and also the footer, they're going to be used several times. So those things should also be components. The second mistake you don't wanna make is not being mindful of color. Colors play a big role in design. It's not only about the aesthetic or the vibe. Colors alone, they express meaning. And that's why it's very important to make deliberative decisions. You need to consider the brand visual identity and the tone the brand wants to express. You need to consider the context. Let's say if the user was not able to successfully save a new password. If we simply throw a shade of green there, that can give them the wrong message. And you should also consider different interactive states. So again, with the button example, it's going to have its default look, but it's going to look different if the user is hovering over that button or if they click on it. And of course, all of those decisions that you take, they should always meet accessibility standards. I'm thinking of making a specific video on how to choose color for UX UI projects. So if that's something that interests you, let me know in the comments. When it comes to color, a big inspiration for me is Spectrum, Adobe's design system. In their documentation, they outline their design fundamentals, how they go about using color, and also their color system. I'm leaving a link in the description so you can have a look. It's always good to have a look on how industry leads are doing it. And the third mistake you don't want to make is underestimating white space. So when we're designing user interfaces, we see each pixel as being super valuable. It feels like real estate vacancy in downtown. But it's not only about fitting as much information as you can, but rather you need to be very strategic on how you're going to balance your white space and also the elements that you need to bring. Because at the end of the day, this balance is what is going to allow the user to not feel overwhelmed. White space, also called as negative space or empty space, between and around elements on a page, helps reduce clutter and also allows the user to really take in what's in there. It enhances the overall user experience and it improves readability. So users can focus on the important elements on the screen without being distracted. By keeping your designs consistent, being mindful about your color choices, and making a good use of your white space, you'll definitely be taking your user interfaces to the next level. If you want to learn the secret sauce to designing products users love, I think you'll want to check out this video right here. And before you go, make sure to give this video a like so we can reach other designers like yourself. And also subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Happy designing!